Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button, and keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or in trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, here we are on Monday, November 27th. We're going to take an updated look at our old friend NIO. So NIO continuing to be stuck under this downtrend. Valiant efforts recently to try to come up and sort of touch the rim, if you will, but no motion up and out of it. And if and when that happens, I'll really be looking for it to get some distance from this downtrend, because it has this one, and then it has another really long-term downtrend as well. So once it leaves this one, if it's going to be able to get some distance from it, it's going to encounter that anyway. There's still this gap up here that extends from 960 up to 1022. So if and when that comes into play, there's that up there. But for the time being, it really just needs to avoid that $7 level, right? Because it came down here to 711, and it's getting quite low. We had 7, was that 7 on the dot right there? And so the question becomes, is it sort of in double bottom territory? And if so, it would be good for it to not have to come all the way down to 7. That would show maybe there's some sort of, it's hard to say strength, but some sort of increased buying pressure above the $7 level without having to come all the way down to it again. And so, if buyers are willing to step in above that level this time and keep it above that 711, right, which is, slight improvement from the $7 touch that it did previously, maybe there's something that starts to get put together where it's able to kind of build a base. And even if it sets itself out from underneath this downtrend resistance by sidestepping its way through, that can happen, and maybe gives it an opportunity. We'll see, but to me that's the most important thing, this initial downtrend resistance. Then, like I said, there's going to be another one come into play, even if it can get rid of this one. But levels, as I see it, 718, right? So again, with the idea here of trying to keep above that 711, if it dips below 718, then yeah, that 711 is like the level that I would be looking at. 730, if it's able to start pushing, and 758, 781, these would start to get it potentially out from underneath that downtrend resistance. So we'll see. It hasn't had a dang bit of luck at all, right? These are all very sort of on the nose in terms of just hit your head on that resistance and just dip back down. So it's putting in its own sort of little triple-ish, quadruple-ish bottom here anyway. Like I said, plus the one back here. If that starts to put in, anything like a long-term double bottom with a more recent, like I said, triple bottom, maybe. But the other worry there, just to mention it, is yes, buyers have been showing up here, but you go to that level too many times, buyers aren't really getting any payoff for buying into the stock at that level, because it kind of just retraces back to it more often than not. And so if it comes down to it once and the buyers are sort of like, you know what, I'm not going to step in this time and buy it up, then my worry is that you have sort of a capitulation, stronger sell-off, and that would push it below 7. But that's kind of the way that I would see that potentially playing out. But we'll see. Like I said, a double-edged sword there, where you can sort of have some strength produced out of a double, triple bottom. However, you can also have just exhaustion. The buyers just get exhausted from stepping in at that level, and sort of the reverse of buyer exhaustion when the stock is flying, right? And they just kind of burn themselves out from continuing to buy it at a higher and higher price. This is sort of just the disillusionment of continuing to buy in at a level that, potentially those buyers think it's a good deal, and that it's not really going to dip much lower than this, and then it just kind of returns back to there sooner than later, and gets exhausting in that way. All right, on the think or swim side of things, on that big push up to 16, obviously left the upper bound of the channel, quickly came down, tested the mid-range, lost it immediately, and then just kind of got stuck between the lower bound of the channel and the mid-range for this whole time. Had a little bit of more fight in it back here a few days ago, but now is sort of coming back down into that range again. It is triggering at the moment on the TTM squeeze indicator, and this trigger and fire didn't really produce much of anything. I think I might have mentioned this the last time we looked at this, unless this was sort of the move, but I mean, that's kind of a garbage move if you ask me. This one was obviously much stronger, this trigger and fire here. And so we'll see if it's a retrigger and a refire that we get now. Maybe there will be a bigger move. Now the question becomes, is it an up move or a down move? I don't know. It's just that, potential for a big move starts to take shape. So it's compressing a little higher in the channel than it had been back here, trying to hold this lower to mid-range of the channel. But again, not holding any support over the mid-range, and that's going to be sort of the longer-term killer for NIO if it can't sort of solve that issue, if you will. All right, folks, I hope that your trading week is off to a good start, and as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.